Hey, what's up? It's Annika and welcome back to Vlogmas. Today we are having a Harry Potter marathon. I got my Hogwarts alumni t-shirt that I actually got from Universal Studios when I went for like a Orlando Informer event thing. But we're just gonna have a chill day. It's Saturday and we want to have a Harry Potter movie marathon because you can't tell me that they are not Christmas movies. And stay tuned for a Q&A / assumptions about me at the end of this video. Ready? Ugh, brother! What are you doing? But I was searching for my wands that I got from Universal, but I could not find them because when I moved, I put them in such a smart, safe spot that I don't know where they are. But I made my brother get his wands out. Who do we have here? Who's this one? That's not Dumbledore.
It's Harry's.
Oh, that's Harry's. We got Harry's. We've got the Elder Wand. And whose is this? Draco's?
Malfoy's mom.
Malfoy's mom? Oh. Wow. Okay, and I have Hermione's and Voldemort's. And my Hermione one is one of those interactive ones that you take to the park and you can like do spells in the park. But they're packed away so safe and sound that I don't know where they are. So we're ready. Oh, I got my Snuggie. Open it up. Hey, open it so I can see it.
Oh, getting hair in the mimosas.
Got my Harry Potter robe Snuggie. We're ready for Hogwarts. We got our mimosas going. We gotta pace ourselves. We'll see how far we can get. Bartender. Expelliarmus. So we don't have a DVD player quite on set. We don't have a DVD player and there's no way to stream the Harry Potter movies anymore unless you buy them all on Prime, I think. But I have them all on my external drive, so we just have to do this the hard way and hook it up HDMI to the TV. Hi, you ready to watch Harry Potter? And sit.
Practice your magic.
I know. You need to be held back at Hogwarts, BB.
I should have known that you would be here. Professor.
Oh my god. 2.5 hours later. Forget how long that movie is. Now we got lunchy time. And what time is it? It's like 2:51. But we got grilled cheeses and tomato soup. And butterbeer's yet to come because I'm not ready for that yet. The first movie is literally my least favorite, to be honest. It's like the most boring and the longest dreading. So glad that's over. But now we're on to number 2. Lego. Ready?
Voldemort. Only this time he chose to act.
Okay, so I pretty much knew I was not really gonna do anything today, but we only got through 2 Harry Potter movies because like I said, we started so late. We didn't start until like noon, and then we took a break to go make lunch, but we finished 2, so we still have quite a ways to go. But we actually have a virtual event that we're attending tonight. One of our friends is throwing this like virtual ball, which is usually held in person, but of course this year it had to be virtual. It's supposed to be pretty cool with some performances and things like that, so looking forward to that, but we have to get ready for that. So we couldn't continue our marathon, but I thought I would kind of end this video off with a few assumptions about me and like a mini Q&A. I asked on my Instagram story this past week to either ask me a question or provide me an assumption about me, even though I'm super late to this trend. People were doing this on YouTube forever ago, like seriously forever ago, and I never really hopped on it, but I figured I'm always intrigued to hear people talk about them, and a good old Q&A never gets old. So but I got a couple that were like, you are confident and decisive, you're crazy confident. Well, I'm glad it looks that way because I really don't consider myself very confident. Growing up, I actually used to compete in pageants, and it wasn't like Toddlers and Tiaras pageants. It was more of like well-rounded interview process, giving like personal introductions on stage in front of an audience with the microphone and the spotlight and everything, and competing in talent competitions and things like that. So I think the confidence that people might see is more of kind of like the performer side of me. I also did children's musical theater growing up, so as well as being a dancer for 10 years, 12 years, I don't know. So being on stage and performing for people is actually, that comes pretty natural to me, and it's not something that bothers me. What does bother me is like one-on-one personal time with people, like one-on-one interviews. I have terrible interview anxiety, and that just has not gone away. Yeah, I think any kind of confidence you see is really me pushing myself out of my comfort zone, because it's definitely not inside of my comfort zone. So, next one is naturally creative, and assumption you are a graphic design major. Actually, no, I have no formal graphic design training whatsoever at all. In college, this ties into another one. It was, you thought about switching your major while in college, and I actually did. So I came into college as a business major, and after one semester, I took what's called an interterm course, which was over the month of January. I changed my major because business was too hard, so computer science was like calling to me, although it was very hard too. But supply, demand, economics, reading, papers, no. Calculus, however, yeah, I can do math all day long. Like, I loved calculus in high school. I took AP Calc. I took, I think, business analytics my first semester, which is basically like calculus. Algebra 2, multivariable calculus, discrete math, all of that stuff, differential equations, like that was my home. I loved math so much, and I almost switched to math, but I was like, I don't know what I would do with math, because I don't want to be like a professor, and I don't want to go into research, and I don't want to get my master's necessarily, or like my PhD, so I just stuck with computer science, because honestly I think that interested me a little bit more, and it still required a lot of math, so yeah. I think the creative aspect has been something that I've always been interested in, but never actually got any formal training or anything. I paid for the Adobe Creative Cloud Suite when I was in college, I think after about sophomore year, which came with things like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro, which was for editing videos, and things like Lightroom, which I hadn't really used before a lot. I do appreciate that people do think I'm creative, because there's always that kind of artist side where you're like, this is awful, this is horrible, no one's gonna like this, like no one's gonna appreciate all the work that I put into this. But I mean, that just goes back to like faking the confidence and fake it till you make it kind of mentality. That's worked well for me. Assumption, you seem like one of the most real and genuine people in the Disney community. I actually really appreciate that. I have always considered myself to be very honest and straightforward, and at times very blunt, and not a lot of people appreciate that, and that can kind of rub people the wrong way. But in my eyes, I would rather receive honesty and just tell me how it is, and we can all move forward from it, rather than sugarcoating things or telling straight up lies or promoting things I don't believe in, and just that kind of fake mentality. Like, I really do not appreciate that, and I also have called out people who do portray that, and I think that has also kind of created some tension between me and other people who are in the same kind of Instagram community. But I don't know, I just don't take bullshit. I'm not here for that. If that's what you want to do, okay, but I'm not going to be a part of that or support it. So you do you, I'ma do me. The next assumption, you are over the Disney community. Which is so funny. If you're watching this video and you're like, the Disney community, I started a second Instagram page about a year and a half ago, and it was more geared toward Disney content and Disney style and Disney lifestyle and the whole kind of curated Instagram feed, posing pictures within the Disney parks, because I did live in Orlando, Florida at Disney World, and just loved creating kind of that Disney content. And there is quite a big community of people who appreciate the same content and who share that love for Disney, as well as are always very interested in seeing what the new styles are and creating that creative content, I guess, for lack of a better word. But to be honest, yeah, I'm not over like the community per se. Like, I love Disney. I've met some amazing people in the Disney community, and I also have met some not amazing people, and you know what, that's just life. But I'm more over Instagram, really. Like, I used to find so much joy in creating the perfect photo and like researching my hashtags and doing fun creative edits, and that did bring me a lot of joy, and I loved that it kind of brought me to a community of people who also enjoyed doing that, which was pretty much the purpose. Like, I wasn't doing it to be like an influencer and like make money from it. I will say how it's just kind of become a toxic culture regarding Instagram, and I think it can just pull in a lot of negative energy. And I actually did a whole video on toxic Instagram culture and my thoughts on that. So if you want to check that out, I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Question, do they make your Disney job just as magical even though it's all online stuff? And the answer is kind of. It's hard now because we are work from home, but when we were in office we would have special days where Mickey Mouse himself would bring us Mickey bars and like ice cream bars, and we would have holiday potlucks. And I actually made some awesome Baby Yoda cookies for last year's holiday potluck, and they were a huge hit. And there's just a lot of energy from people who appreciate Disney almost either as much as you do, maybe even more, maybe even not, but I mean there's kind of a variety of different people who create the magic all behind the scenes, not necessarily front lines like you do see within the parks themselves. But definitely can't complain. Like, I have a great job, I have a great team, great people I work with. Assumption, you miss Disney World. Of course I miss Disney World. I love that place, and I love so many people who are still there, and of course I will be visiting. Assumption, you like Disneyland better. That's a tough one just because I grew up in California, and so I went to college in Southern California, and I had a Disneyland annual pass with 2 of my best friends, and again we would go to the parks every weekend together, and it was just a great time. And that's kind of my home park. But also my first job with Disney was within Magic Kingdom at Disney World, so they both just hold special places in my heart, so it's hard to pick one or the other. If I had to, I'd probably pick Disneyland just because Walt walked there, and it's just more magical in my opinion, and they have much better churros. Don't fight me on that. Okay, last question I'm gonna do because I don't want to babble your ear off, but what is your go-to motivation playlist? And honestly, anything by Ariana Grande. I feel like people love or hate her. I for one love her, and her music just like hits me deep. I listened to her albums on repeat. Like, she was definitely my 2020 top artist and was also my 2019 top artist, I believe, because when I just need to like mentally relax and breathe, a lot of the times at night, like, I do a little bit of yoga to stretch out my back because I do have a lot of like back and hip problems, and I really do enjoy yoga and I miss going to hot yoga studios. But I always just play her album, and it's just so relaxing to me, and it really speaks to me. And for me, that is motivational, and it's not maybe quite the like most upbeat type of stereotypical motivation playlist, but I will literally just throw on any Ariana Grande song and it will motivate me to kick butt. That just about wraps up this Vlogmas video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are not already. I'm here to create a happy and financially free life. You guys know the drill by now. I am on a debt-free journey, and I'm so excited to post more and more finance videos coming up so soon. I think once Vlogmas ends after Christmas, I have so many budget related / finance related videos coming out, as well as my 2020 recap of my debt journey and my 2021 goals. So please stick around for those. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!